Bonjour Tristesse was the debut novel of the French writer François Sagan. Published in 1954, it was an immediate sensation, partly because its author was still a teenager, but also because of its sheer literary quality. It remains one of the great French novellas of the 20th century, and in many ways it's as fresh and relevant today as it was then. Its theme is the tension between hedonistic freedom and moral responsibility, and it uses that as a springboard to revisit the age-old question of how we should live. There are three main characters and two minor ones. 17-year-old Cécile is the protagonist, and the novel is written from her first-person perspective. Then there's Raymond, her wealthy father. Raymond is 40, and he's been a widower for 15 years. He has what Cécile calls a need for women, and he lives, she tells us, with a different woman every 6 months. Father and daughter go to stay in his villa on the French Riviera, and Raymond brings his current girlfriend, Elsa. That's not a problem for Cécile. She and Elsa resemble each other and Raymond in seeing life principally in terms of relaxation and leisure. However, Elsa's one of the minor characters. The second is a young man called Cyril, with whom Cécile begins a holiday romance. So far, so uneventful, but it turns out that Raymond has been seeing another woman called Anne Larson, and he's invited her to the villa. Anne was a friend of his deceased wife, and she's not Raymond's usual type. She's serious-minded and thoughtful. She disrupts the existing setup, and she doesn't do herself any favours when she shows a genuine concern for Cécile's welfare, trying to make her eat healthily and study so she can achieve her goal of getting into the Sorbonne. This is an intensely serious novel. It would have been easy to make Anne into a prig, but in fact that's almost the opposite of how Sagan presents her. As the British novelist Rachel Cusk puts it in her introduction to the Penguin edition, Anne differs from the other characters in here in being an adult, but being in a minority in that regard, things don't bode well for her. What makes Bonjour Tristesse such a great novel is that none of the characters is treated unsympathetically. When a novel takes morality in hand, it often trades in caricatures because that makes certain positions easier to evaluate. When we finish Bonjour Tristesse, we remember what Cécile said at the beginning, that she never knew what sadness was until now. We don't feel remotely repelled. For all our faults, we've grown to like her. But we've probably grown to like the author even more. There aren't many novels that achieve this sort of balance between competing worldviews, and even fewer that leave the reader pondering the questions long after the story itself has receded from view.